Before we begin, let me ask you a question. Have you ever looked at another man around your age and thought, why does he look so much sharper than I do? The surprising part is, it usually isn't because he spends more money on clothes. It's because he avoids a handful of shirt mistakes that quietly make many men over 50 look older, heavier, and less confident than they really are. The truth is, your shirt sits closer to your face than almost any other piece of clothing. If it's the wrong fit, the wrong fabric, or simply outdated, people notice, even if they can't explain why. Today, we'll uncover the 10 shirt mistakes that age men the fastest and show you exactly what to wear instead. By the end of this video, you'll know how to build a wardrobe that looks timeless, confident, and effortlessly stylish. Let's get started. Let's begin with a mistake that almost every man has hanging in his closet. Mistake number 10, oversized shirts. Imagine walking into a family gathering. You haven't seen some relatives in months. You put on your favorite shirt because it's comfortable, but without realizing it, that oversized fit is making you look older before you've even said hello. Many men buy larger shirts because they think extra fabric hides extra weight. Unfortunately, it does the exact opposite. Loose fabric hangs from the shoulders, bunches around the waist, and makes your frame appear wider than it really is. Here's what people actually notice. They don't think he looks comfortable. They think his clothes don't fit anymore. That's a completely different message. Instead, choose a shirt that follows your natural shape without clinging to your body. Not skinny, not baggy, just clean, tailored lines. A proper shoulder seam and a slightly tapered waist instantly make you appear more confident. Here's the truth. An oversized shirt doesn't hide your age, it announces it. This week, pull your 3 favorite shirts from the closet. If you can pinch more than a fistful of fabric on each side, it's time to size down or visit a tailor. Mistake number 9, graphic tees with large logos. There's a shirt many men still reach for without thinking twice, the old graphic tee. Maybe it's from a concert you went to decades ago. Maybe it's a brand you liked in your 30s. Or maybe you just grabbed it because it was clean and on top of the pile. But here's what's actually happening when you put it on. A shirt with a loud logo or an oversized graphic doesn't just draw the eye, it pulls it straight to your chest, away from your face, away from the parts of you that actually communicate who you are. And on a mature man, that kind of shirt sends an unintentional message, not "I have great taste," more like "I haven't updated this drawer in years." Instead, reach for a clean, solid-colored tee, or one with subtle texture instead of branding. Quality fabric speaks louder than any logo ever could. Here's the truth. A logo tells people what you bought. A well-chosen shirt tells them who you are. Take 5 minutes today and go through your t-shirt drawer. Anything with a logo bigger than your palm, set it aside. Mistake number 8, shirts that run too long. Here's a mistake almost nobody catches in the mirror: length. You get dressed, you check the fit across your shoulders, you check the color, but how often do you actually check where the shirt ends? A shirt that hangs too far past your hip does something subtle but real. It shortens your legs visually and throws off your entire proportion. It's often a shirt you bought years ago in a size that fit everywhere else, so the length just got overlooked. Nobody will ever tell you your shirt is too long. They'll just sense that something about your outfit looks a little off without being able to say exactly why. Instead, a shirt should end near the top of your zipper, long enough to stay tucked in without pulling loose, short enough to look intentional if you wear it untucked. Here's the truth. Proportion is something people feel before they can consciously explain it. Get it right, and everything else you're wearing looks better too. Tonight, try tucking in your most worn shirt. If it bunches or balloons at the waist, the length isn't working for your frame. Mistake number 7, ignoring the shoulder fit.
Of every measurement on a shirt, this is the one almost no man thinks to check: the shoulder seam. It's a small detail, just a few centimeters of fabric, but it's also the first thing a sharp dresser's eye goes to, before the color, before the pattern, before anything else. If the seam sits too far out on your arm, the entire shirt looks borrowed, like it belongs to someone larger. If it sits too tight, it pulls and wrinkles every time you move. And here's the part that surprises most men. Even an expensive, well-made shirt looks cheap the moment the shoulders are wrong. No amount of good fabric or fine color can undo it. Instead, the seam should sit exactly where your shoulder ends and your arm begins. No gap, no overhang, clean, structured, precise. Here's the truth. Get the shoulders right, and the rest of the shirt falls into place. Get them wrong, and nothing else matters. Next time you try on a shirt, check the shoulder seam first before you even look at the mirror as a whole. Mistake number 6, shiny fabric instead of quality cotton. Have you ever stood under bright light, an office, a restaurant, a hallway, and felt like your shirt looked cheaper than it should? It probably wasn't the color, it was the fabric. A lot of budget shirts are made from synthetic blends that catch and reflect light in a way natural fiber never does. That faint, plastic-like shine is one of the fastest ways a shirt reads as low quality, no matter what it cost. People register texture before they consciously register it. A flat, glossy fabric signals inexpensive from across the room, long before anyone gets close enough to judge the cut or the stitching. Instead, choose a matte, breathable cotton or high-quality cotton blend. It drapes better, feels better against the skin, and photographs better too, which matters more than ever in a world where most first impressions happen on a screen. Here's the truth. Fabric is the one detail people feel before they consciously notice it, and it shapes every impression that follows. Hold your go-to shirt up to a window today. If it gleams like plastic, it's quietly working against you.
Mistake number 5, faded or yellowed white shirts. A white shirt is one of the most versatile pieces a man can own, until the day it isn't. Sweat, detergent buildup, and years of washing slowly turn crisp white into a dull, yellowish tint. It happens so gradually that most men never notice it's happening to their own shirts, even though everyone else does. Here's the part that stings a little. A tired white shirt doesn't just look old, it makes the man wearing it look tired too, even on a day he actually feels sharp. Instead, know that white shirts have a lifespan. The moment yours starts to yellow under the arms or around the collar, its job is done. Wash your whites separately in cold water to slow the process, but don't fight a battle that fabric always wins in the end. Here's the truth. A truly white shirt looks expensive at any price. A yellowed one looks worn no matter what it cost. Hold your white shirt next to a plain sheet of paper this week. If it doesn't match, it's time to let it go. Mistake number 4, wrinkled or worn-out collars. Think about where people actually look when they talk to you. Not your shoes, not your sleeves, your face and the collar framing it. That makes the collar one of the most important details on the entire shirt and one the most neglected. A soft, curling, or fraying collar undercuts everything else about your outfit, no matter how sharp the rest of it is. And here's what happens next, almost without anyone deciding it consciously. A worn collar reads as not taken care of, and that impression quietly spreads to the rest of how people see you, fair or not. Instead, iron or steam your collars regularly, and once the fabric starts fraying or the structure is permanently gone, that shirt has reached the end of its useful life. No amount of ironing brings it back. Here's the truth. A crisp collar doesn't just frame your face, it frames the impression you leave behind. Check your 3 most worn shirts today. Iron the collars, or if they're beyond saving, set those shirts aside for retirement. Mistake number 3, loud prints and busy patterns. Every so often a shirt catches your eye on the rack.
Bold florals, oversized checks, clashing stripes. It feels different, maybe even exciting. But here's what that pattern actually does once you put it on. It pulls every bit of attention toward the shirt itself and away from you. On a mature man, that kind of visual noise doesn't read as bold, it reads as trying too hard, as though the outfit is talking instead of the man wearing it. Instead, reach for solid colors or a simple fine pattern, a subtle stripe, a light micro check, enough personality to feel like you without overwhelming the eye. Here's the truth. Confidence gets lost in clutter. The simpler the pattern, the more clearly people actually see you. Look at your loudest shirt right now. If you can't describe the pattern in 5 words or less, it's probably competing with you instead of complimenting you. Mistake number 2, choosing the wrong colors for your skin tone. By now, you've improved the fit, you've upgraded the fabric, you've simplified your patterns. But even if you've done everything right so far, one mistake can still make you look tired before you even say a word, and that mistake is color. Here's something most men never think about. The colors that looked fantastic on you at 30 may not be the colors that flatter you at 50 or 60. Why? Because you have changed. Your hair may have turned gray, your skin tone may have become lighter or less vibrant. Even the color of your beard can affect how certain shirts look against your face. But many men never update their wardrobe to match these changes. Instead, they keep buying the same bright colors they've always worn, or they go in the opposite direction and wear nothing but black. Neither choice is always the best. Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, I look tired today? Maybe you blamed poor sleep, maybe you blamed your age, but sometimes it isn't your face that's making you look tired, it's the color sitting just inches below it. Color reflects light directly onto your skin. A shirt that's too pale can wash out your complexion. A color that's too bright can overpower your features. And a shade that's too harsh can make every line and wrinkle appear more noticeable. Now compare that with rich, timeless colors: navy, charcoal, deep olive, forest green, burgundy, soft blue. These shades create contrast, they bring warmth back to your face, they make your eyes appear brighter, and they naturally complement mature skin tones without trying too hard. That's why you'll often see well-dressed gentlemen wearing these colors year after year, not because they're fashionable, but because they're flattering. Here's another common mistake. Many men believe that wearing black automatically makes them look slimmer and more stylish. Sometimes it does, but a solid black shirt placed directly below the face can also make mature skin appear dull and lifeless, especially in daylight. In many cases, a deep navy or charcoal shirt creates the same sophisticated look while adding much more warmth. The difference is subtle, but people notice the result. Another tip, don't build your wardrobe around trendy colors that change every season. Build it around timeless colors that work with almost everything. A navy shirt today will still look great 5 years from now. Here's the truth. The right color doesn't just change your shirt, it changes your face. It makes you look healthier, more awake, more confident, often several years younger, without changing your haircut, without losing weight, without spending a fortune. Here's your challenge. The next time you're shopping, don't look at the shirt first. Look at your reflection. Hold the shirt just below your chin in natural light and ask yourself one question. Does this color make my face look brighter, or does it make me look tired? If your face comes alive, you've found a winner. If it drains the color from your skin, leave it on the rack. Because after 50, the goal isn't to wear every color. The goal is to wear the colors that bring out the very best version of you. We've talked about fit, fabric, patterns, collars, and color. But the number one mistake isn't about any single shirt. It's about something much bigger, a habit that quietly keeps thousands of men looking stuck in the past. And once you fix it, every other style decision becomes easier. Let's reveal the number one shirt mistake men over 50 must stop making. Mistake number 1, holding on to shirts you should have let go of years ago. We've reached the final mistake, and in many ways, this one's the most important of them all, because it quietly makes every other mistake on this list even worse. It's not about the fit, It's not about the fabric. It's not even about the color. It's about something much harder for most men to do: letting go. How many shirts are hanging in your closet right now, not because you love wearing them, but because you've always had them? Maybe it's the button-down you wore to work for years, the polo shirt you've owned since your youngest child was in school, or the favorite shirt your wife bought you 15 years ago. You keep them because they still fit, or because they remind you of a different chapter in your life, and that's completely understandable. Clothes carry memories. But here's the problem. A shirt can still fit and still no longer flatter you. Your life has changed, your body has changed, your confidence has changed, and your wardrobe should grow with you. Too many men believe that dressing well means chasing every new fashion trend. It doesn't. In fact, the best-dressed men rarely chase trends at all. What they do instead is much simpler. They regularly take an honest look at their wardrobe and ask one question: does this still represent the man I am today? Not the man they were 10 years ago, not the man in an old family photograph, the man standing in the mirror today. Because style isn't about holding on to the past, it's about presenting your best self in the present. Think about successful men you admire: a respected businessman, a mentor, an actor in his 60s or 70s. Notice something they all have in common? They don't dress young, they don't dress old, they dress intentionally. Everything they wear looks like it belongs to the man they've become. One modern, well-fitting Oxford shirt will always outperform 5 outdated shirts you've kept out of habit. Quality beats quantity every single time. Here's a simple rule. If you haven't worn a shirt in the last 12 months, ask yourself why. If the answer is maybe someday, that day usually never comes. If it no longer fits your body, your lifestyle, or the image you want to project, thank it for the memories and let it go. Your closet shouldn't be a museum. It should be a collection of clothes you're excited to wear. Here's the truth. Your wardrobe should tell people where you're going, not where you've been. The man you've become deserves clothes that reflect his confidence, his experience, and his self-respect, not shirts that quietly keep him living in yesterday. So here's my final challenge for you. This weekend, open your closet. Pick just one shirt, not 10, just one. Replace it with something that fits better, feels better, and represents the man you are today. Small improvements lead to remarkable transformations, because becoming a sharper man doesn't happen in one afternoon. It happens one good decision at a time. If today's video helped you, I'd love to hear from you. Which mistake surprised you the most? Or better yet, which shirt are you finally ready to retire? Leave your answer in the comments below. I read every comment, and I'd love to know where you are on your style journey. And if you're new here, welcome to Sharp After 50. This channel isn't about chasing trends. It's about helping men over 50 look their best, feel their best, and live with confidence. Every week, we share practical advice on timeless style, grooming, health, confidence, and the habits that help you become the strongest version of yourself.